What's going on, everybody? Gamer King Tario here, and I got some sad news today. I posted a video, my last video, sorry it's been a little while, but I posted my last video a couple days ago, and I talked about the problems that 38 Studios, the makers of Kingdoms of Amalur, was having, and today we've confirmed that they have laid off their entire staff. So, obviously that's not a good sign for business. I don't think there's confirmation that they're shutting everything down, but obviously if you're laying off your entire staff, there are not good things coming from that generally. So first thing before I discuss a little more details, because this has actually been really fascinating to me, I do want to give my heartfelt apologies to anyone out there who is out of work due to this mishap. Whatever happened, I'm sure there was a lot of good faith people that went out, relocated to Rhode Island, or were hired in Rhode Island to follow a vision, to follow a dream, to make games that people enjoy, and that has come to an end. So I definitely feel bad for all those people out there that have lost their jobs. It's really, really tough. I hope all those people land on their feet in some capacity. Also, I feel bad for the taxpayers who lent the money onto this business venture, and the taxpayers of Rhode Island are now on the hook for, they're estimating with interest, over $100 million. That's a lot for a state with the capita of Rhode Island. That's a lot per person. You're talking literally hundreds of dollars for each person in the state of Rhode Island. That's how much that affects each individual person. It's not, like the state of New York, $100 million over, 30 million people, but $100 million over the population of Rhode Island, that's a lot for them to have to make up. So that's a very unfortunate situation. Now, going into the actual details, and the question that everyone's going to be asking is, how did this happen? How did they get, this loan? They got this guaranteed loan. They were able to get these resources. They were acquired these properties and all this stuff. How did they lose all of this money? And that's the question. I just can't figure it out. I can't wrap my brain around where all this money went. There's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of different numbers that are going around. Forbes is saying Kingdoms of Amalur was a massive flop and it only sold, 400,000 copies, or the governor of Rhode Island is saying that it was a flop, but Forbes saying it sold 400,000 copies. But Kurt Schilling posted Kurt Schilling, who is the owner or chairman of 38 Studios, posted an article on his Facebook page, or a quote on his Facebook page, that it actually exceeded expectations and sold 1.3 million copies. Kingdoms of Amalur did. I don't think we have enough information to decide was something dirty going on, because something definitely doesn't feel right with the money allocated, but I'm sure there's going to be investigations into this from the state of Rhode Island. Or is it just something where the company just took on more than it could? Did it hire too many people? Was it not able to manage all of these people and all these assets? Or was it just gross mismanagement from the top? There's a lot of numbers being thrown around from both sides in this situation, but the governor of Rhode Island, who has as good a look as the books of anybody, said that Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning needed to sell 3 million copies just to break even. I mean, to me, that's ludicrous. What new IP sells 3 million copies right out of the gate? I mean, I can barely think of any off the hand. I mean, that's 1 in 100 that come even close to that. That's just ludicrous. And if that was the business model to, release Kingdoms of Amalur, have it sell 5 million copies, and then we'd have the money to make this MMO that we all want to make, that is ludicrous. That is a terrible business plan. There's absolutely no way that the Kingdoms of Amalur was going to be able to sell 3 million copies out the gate just to break even. I mean, let's talk about a game like Dark Souls. Dark Souls, which was my favorite game from last year, came out in October. Let's talk about all the advantages Dark Souls had. It came out pre-Christmas. It came out pre-Skyrim. It was the sequel or spiritual successor to a game that had a very, very large following and was even Game of the Year to some publications, including big publications like GameSpot. And it was also highly critically acclaimed from a lot of different fonts. So all of that combined together, and From Software, the developers of Dark Souls, announced that they sold 1.1 million copies of the game. So they had all that going for them. It was a big game, had a huge following, and they sold 1.1 million copies. The Witcher 2, another sequel to another highly touted game, came around and sold also just over 1 million copies in 2011. So you have these two really standout RPGs that are critical successes selling 1 million copies, and these developers are thrilled with that. The Witcher 2 developers said they were surprised to sell that many copies. So I think it's ludicrous that 38 Studios thought that they would be able to sell 4 or 5 million copies on their first time out. I've played Kingdoms of Amalur probably as much as 80% of the people out there. And, I enjoyed the game. I thought it was an excellent game. I thought it was actually kind of underrated in a lot of ways. But it did not feel like a $70, $80 million game. It did not feel like the type of game that was going to need to sell that many copies. Anyway, guys, that's it for the video. I just want to let you guys know, if you guys had not heard, for those of you expecting the patch, the difficulty patch, that is definitely not incoming anytime soon. So it's an unfortunate situation, and it's one of those things where you get a new IP, you get a new property, and someone tries to build something and it fails, and it's only going to make the future that much harder to start new IPs, to start new ideas out there, to start new gaming companies. It's starting to get, the rich are getting richer, and the poor and the indies, they're scraping by for everything they can, for every gaming dollar they can get. So that's it, guys. If I have any more information or anything like that, I'll continue posted if you guys wanna keep talking about it. But until then, enjoy Kingdoms of Amalur. I thought it was an underrated game. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's it, guys. Have a good night. Take care.